Wife divorcing me, help dealing with thoughts of possible infidelity. Hello all, my wife dropped the bomb a week ago that she has not loved me in a long time and does not want to be a mother anymore to our 2-year-old son. She is agreeing with almost everything in the divorce process so far. The only hard part has been the emotional devastation of it all. One of the main emotional issues I'm dealing with is the possibility that she has been cheating with one or both of her closest friends. It's a weird situation, so bear with me. My STBX soon-to-be ex has been friends with a married couple, let's call them Bob and Jane. My wife is bisexual and has had a sexual experience with Jane with my permission years ago. They have always teased, flirted with each other after that, but have assured me that nothing else has happened beyond that one time. Kind of hard for me to believe. We attempted a threesome with myself, STBX, and Jane, however Jane was not into me, just my STBX. Bob is aware of the one-time sex between STBX and Jane, and as far as I know he's cool with it. My STBX has also been very close to Bob, having many encounters with him I was uncomfortable with and spoke up about. She has gotten drunk alone with him, and confessed her suicidal feelings, which I was totally unaware of for months afterward. She breastfed my son but was way too relaxed around Bob with no bra etc. She told me they used to wrestle to teach her self-defense techniques. When we would go to the beach they were very hands-on, throwing each other around in the water etc. He rubbed her shoulders in front of me once when she was crying. She spent as many nights up there as possible, with it becoming a weekly occurrence. And now that we are separated she has moved in with Bob and Jane and she seems happier than ever. Bob and Jane are basically pampering her and doing everything for her during the divorce process. STBX always assured me she had no feelings toward Bob and he was like a brother to her. Bob has always been a good person to me and has made several attempts to hang out with me, be my friend, though I've rejected him, because I'm an introvert and we just don't have much in common. He's even cordial to me during the separation. He takes her side though, of course. I've known the relationship between the three was unnatural for a long time, but I always gave her the benefit of the doubt. What I've always feared is that the threesome we attempted that Jane didn't want has been going on behind my back, but between STBX, Bob, and Jane. She insists to this date that Bob is like a brother to her and there are no feelings between them. I told her if she moves on with anyone else I can accept that, but if she did anything with Bob I would never want to see her again, because I always gave her the benefit of the doubt. So I just want some opinions, though I know you all don't have the full story. Does this seem like a cheating scenario to you? Either way, she doesn't love me and I've accepted that, but the thought of her cheating on me with a person I trusted and moving in with the person plagues me. Any tips on how to accept a partner has moved on, despite any hurtful things they may have done, will do now that we're separated. I ideally want to get to a point where she can do the most hurtful thing I can think of and it doesn't even faze me emotionally. Hope that all makes sense. I'm still recovering from this blindside divorce and my thoughts aren't always so clear. I will be reading, replying to comments as much as possible, so feel free to ask questions to clarify. Update: the unfairness and loneliness. My wife cheated and monkey branched with a poly-married couple 2 months ago. I'm dealing with intense depression and anger mood swings still, as well as a deep loneliness. What hurts so much is the unfairness. Sure, they say rebound relationships don't last, and it's usually true. But sometimes they do last. But one thing's for certain. I'm alone, and she is not. She has a shoulder to cry on when she's sad. She has someone to watch movies with and go to the park with. She has someone to eat with every day. She has someone to fulfill her sexual desires. She has someone to cuddle up to at night. That's what hurts. We're taught through stories and movies that the person who backstabs will have karma inflicted on them and will regret their decisions, but real life doesn't always work that way. The cheater has a safety net, whereas my reward for loyalty is loneliness and indescribable pain. Update: swinging between guilt and anger. I need to talk about the way I'm feeling tonight. It's unlike anything I've felt before. Separated 2 months with a toddler. I've never felt guilt and anger back to back so frequently. My mind feels like a damn ping pong ball in a blender. I didn't help her enough with our son while we were together. I worked full time and sometimes more so that she could be a stay-at-home mother, but I didn't help as much as I should have with the baby. I regret this every day. The guilt is overwhelming. Her story is that the lack of help from me hurt her so much it made her stop loving me, attempt suicide, and emotionally cheat. Then she left me, and monkey branched to her affair partners. She says they give her the help she needs, the help I never gave her. She hasn't looked back once since leaving me. They spend every second of every day together, whether it's at work together, taking walks, playing games, or watching movies. She's happier than ever. It hurts so much. I loved her so much. I still love the old her, or was it the fake her? I feel so much guilt. I feel like if I'd just helped her more with our son, none of this would have happened. Was my ignorant emotional neglect really enough to cause all of this? I thought I was doing the right things. I thought our relationship was on the right track. Guilty is how she would like me to feel. Her words spin a story of sadness, neglect, loss of self-confidence, and ultimately freedom, while having true lovers that rebuild her self-confidence. Her words often convince the naive part of me, and I can't help but see that innocent woman I once loved in her eyes even to this day. But her actions tell a different story. Then comes the anger. She told me she needed more help, so I changed my careers to help her, which was her own idea. Her response after I'd already changed careers and started helping her more than ever: "You've already hurt me too much. I just don't love you anymore. Nothing can change that. I need to be alone for a while and find myself." She immediately moves in with her friends. I guess by be alone she means binging a married couple, playing second wife. I guess by I need help she means I need to be constantly pampered and coddled by 2 partners while I do nothing all day. She barely even keeps up with her 2 days weekly visitation. She's left hours early before because it's going to rain. She's missed multiple days because she's not mentally prepared. She blew up with angry abuse towards our son while we were together. Her reasoning: "I was just angry at you and taking it out on him, it's your fault." Well, that's odd, because even after we separated and she has no responsibilities and 2 partners who take care of everything for her, she still gets angry and snaps at our son during her supervised visitation. Her words say she endured a horrific marriage until she got the confidence she needed to leave. Her words say she loves her son and would do anything to be with him. Her actions say she was emotionally cheating during our marriage, left for the affair partners because they love-bombed the living acid out of her, abandoned her son and loving providing husband, and doesn't contribute anything to anyone, not even her own son. Vent over. Still completely clueless on how to manage both guilt and anger at the same time. It's such a strange feeling. My therapist probably feels like I'm above their pay grade, lol. Update: how I've been coping. The love of my life is dead. Hey all. I just want to share something that has helped me cope, and it may help you as well. My wife, the woman I loved more than anything for 10 years, left me for two mutual friends whom she had also been having an emotional affair with. So, as you all know, the pain, anger, and sadness are indescribable. But here's something that has helped me a lot. When I look at her recent photos, she looks pure evil. I don't know how else to put it, she just has a negative aura now. But when I look at our older pictures, I see a woman who was kind, loving, and so selfless. I see the new her, and I see the old her. When I thought about them being together, I used to get so jealous and angry, because I was imagining the old her being with them. But that person no longer exists. That person has died and is replaced by someone completely malevolent who is only the same in physical appearance except the weight gain Lamau. So now when those mental images pop into my head, I remind myself that they have the new her. The city her. I want nothing to do with that woman, they can have her. I enjoyed years of love and happiness with the woman she once was, but she's now gone. I am happy I got to live and love with her until she passed. I will always cherish those times, and this new monster will not destroy that. I will remember her for what she was in my heart. Update: does telling them to cut contact with potential AP help anything? Edit: the way I wrote this is a bit confusing, so let me clear this up. This question isn't related to my current relationship. I won't ever reconcile. I'm asking this question to better understand pre-cheating behavior using my past relationship as an example. I've read a lot of posts on here that are similar to my situation. I had an intense gut feeling that my wife was cheating with her now boyfriend-girlfriend. I was right, of course. People often suggest on other posts ask her to cut all contact with the friend you're worried about. If she refuses, then you dump her. But I'm thinking, would that really help the relationship? If you have to dictate her friendships in order to keep her from cheating, isn't that just ridiculous? Is a cheater going to cheat no matter who it's with, or is it possible that someone is so charming they'd make a loyal woman cheat and you as a partner have to protect her from those charmers? Update: what's the dumbest excuse your AP gave? After reading Chump Lady's stupid acid cheaters say section, I got a good kick out of it, and it helps make some light out of the darkness that comes with infidelity. So I'm wondering, what's the dumbest thing your AP said about the cheating? I'll start. Mine said, once I had already found out about the cheating post-separation, what, do you think I moved in with him with the intention of ducking him? The dynamic just changed one night. Update: should I out my STBXW? Custody woes. Hey all, in the divorce process 4 months out. The divorce process has been so up and down. In the beginning I was trying to be as civil as possible, and so was she. Then I found out about her affair with our mutual friends and she filed a false EPO on me, so it hit the fan. Now we're in a custody battle over our kid. I wanted her to have supervised visitation only due to her mental illness, which she agreed to, then she backed out of. Now I'm just trying to make sure she doesn't move my kid in with her APs, which she has said multiple times she wants to do. We currently have split custody, but I get 4 days a week to her 3, and it's stated in the temporary agreement that she can't take our kid around her partners, which are specifically named, and she has to reside at her family member's home and not the AP's. So, it's pretty favorable to me and I can live with it. However, it's only temporary. I'm afraid once the divorce finalizes and we get a final custody agreement, they will say, well, she's done fine with her side of the agreement, so we will take these restrictions off. And then of course first thing she will do is move our kid in with her APs. She went full on damage control fighting dirty mode when we took it to court. She's putting on the best mom ever face for 3 days to save face, then living with her fuck buddy APs the other 4 when she doesn't have our kid. My lawyer told me it's best to save the ammo for the main battle, which is the divorce finalization, so we did not fight in court for the temporary agreement, we just both agreed to sign with the stipulation that she can't take our kid around APs. So, I've been biting my tongue for months, and now she has our kid 3 days a week. It kills me how she's putting on the best mom ever face 3 days a week, then FCK us around with her APs the other 4 while everyone thinks she's a struggling single mom trying her best. People who are close to me and my family know the situation, but her family and friends only know her side, the fake side. I want so badly to let everyone know the truth about how she broke apart our family to move in with her 2 APs. I want everyone to know how she said she didn't want our son. But I don't know the best way to do it, and also I'm afraid it will bite me in court. Is there any chance it could hurt me in court to be broadcasting the truth about what happened? Should I? Is it worth it? Edit, BTW. I have proof of her admitting to cheating for any doubters. Update, I'm getting better at regulating the negative emotions. Now I want to know how to get them out of my thoughts entirely. Hey all. Long story short, my wife cheated with a married couple we were friends with, both of them, and is now in a relationship with both of them. It was horribly traumatic for me because I had always worried about them, and her cheating with them was my worst nightmare. She knew this, and turns out she and the 2 friends were all 3 capable and willing of inflicting that nightmare on me. It was a 3-pronged betrayal involving so many lies and gaslighting from all 3. We're 5 months separated. I'm minimal contact because we have a kid together. She's not completely out of my life because we're still sorting out custody, which is favored towards me ATM. So ever since I discovered the affair, I've been struggling unlike ever before, having mental health issues where before I had none. I'm convinced I have full-blown PTSD from this, but I've come to accept that, and I'm working to regulate my emotions and thoughts when I get triggered. These are my main triggers and something ticks them every day. Disclaimer: I have nothing against gay people or poly people. 1. 3-way couples with 2 women. 2. People who look like either of the APs. 3. Cars that look like the APs. 4. Certain music I associate with them. 5. Certain parts of my home. Parts the AP was hired to remodel. There are others, but those are the main ones, most common ones. So when I'm triggered, I am immediately flooded with images of them together having sex, kissing, cuddling, etc., and I become overcome with a deep, intense anger. Then it's like I have to talk myself down, rehashing every horrible thing and lie she's done to me, and convince myself she will do it to them one day. Then I have to rehash how I'm doing the things I like and how I will find someone to love and fulfill my sexual needs with. By the end I'm okay again, but it is so emotionally draining and I feel like I have no energy afterward. I usually just want to sit around or nap afterward. If I can't, it's really rough to continue whatever I'm working on. I fear I will never get over these triggers and that I will be giving myself an emotionally draining talk down multiple times every single day for the rest of my life. It just seems like there's no way to avoid it. I mean, how can I see a 3-way couple and not immediately think of them? How can I see people who look like them and not be reminded? It's such a pain to me on a daily basis, and there are so many things that remind me of them, because the APs were a big part of our lives as our friends while we were together. Does anyone have some advice to finally be rid of these emotional energy vampires that haunt my mind? Update: everything is going well on paper, yet I still feel so empty. I'm 5 months separated, discovered STBXW was cheating 1 month after we separated. Till that point I begged and pleaded, playing the pick-me dance. She was horrifyingly cruel during that time. Then I discovered the affair that had been going on with mutual friends of ours, and I plummeted into the worst anger and depression I'd ever felt by far. I developed panic attacks for the first time in my life. I am emotionally triggered every day by something, having mental flashbacks and mind movies of them together, which causes my stomach to drop and my energy to drain. I'm working a new fantastic job that pays more than I've ever been paid before. On top of losing a cheating mouth to feed, I've got no money worries at all. I've been talking to women, and had better success than I would have expected considering I'm out of shape right now. I've got majority custody of my son and a loving close family, who helps me when I need it, and will likely get more custody of him soon. But still, I am not happy. It all feels so meaningless without her. I don't want her back. I want the idea of her I crafted in my head back. The true her is an evil, lying and manipulative user, but the fake side she showed me and everyone else is so sweet and loving. I just want to be happy again, but even though my life is great on paper, I still feel so empty and emotionally volatile. I would never take her back, yet I can't get her out of my head. I miss having someone to hold at night and talk about all my problems with. I miss coming home from work and seeing her play with our son, instead of coming home to an empty house. I miss having someone to go on walks with and park dates. I miss having someone I can connect with sexually on such a deep level. All those things were taken from me at the same time, by the very person I trusted would never hurt me. I'm doing everything I know to do. I am successful by the metrics of everyone in my life, but in my mind and heart I am an empty failure. Update: seeing her during child exchange is torture. I have to see her twice a week for child exchange for now, and it is awful. We're minimal contact, only talk about the kid. Just when I think I have her out of my mind and am able to control my thoughts about her and the abuse she's put me through, one little odd exchange can have my thoughts racing and absorbed with her again. Today all it took was her having on a white ring on her left hand, I believe middle finger. I knew it was from her partners, but when I googled it, it says it means aromantic. So now my mind is racing with thoughts of if she's aromantic now or not, or possibly if it's a promise ring or something. She could even be using it as a deterrent because she's in a poly relationship, and she's been hiding it from everyone. Either way, she is living a lie. She could be because she's been having an extreme mental health crisis. Just not long ago she was polyamorous. Now she's aromantic. This woman is off the walls crazy. It's amazing how people can live a lie so convincingly and for so long. 9 years I was lied and gaslighted to, and I had no idea. Rant over. I'm optimistic I will continue to care less and less about her and what she does, but the ring triggered me today. Update: APs who are friends with the BS. I just want to say that APs who are friends with the BS are a special kind of scum. They don't get the heat they deserve because all the focus is on the WS. I just read a poster's story about how the AP was best friends with the WS and starting hanging out with the BS after the affair. I just want to say that's a special kind of sick, to befriend someone who you know you've been ducking around with their partner. Like, why even bother to make a friend connection with someone when you've been sleeping around with their partner? That just sets them up for a double betrayal for no ducking reason. Update: her relationship with the APs is still ongoing 4 months later. I thought it would fail by now. I need to not care, but I cannot not care. If their relationship lasts long enough, she will be moving our kid in with them and he will be raised by not only by my cheating spouse but also by the scumbags who pretended to be my friend. Of course, all that time they were cheating with my wife and stoking the flames against me, about how horrible and abusive I was. Your partner since high school 9 years can cheat on you with friends of yours and then move your kid in with them to be raised by them. and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it within the legal system. This is a living ducking nightmare. It feels like this level of depraved and calculated betrayal shouldn't be able to happen in real life. Update: today the AP got arrested for child molestation. So I found out that one of the APs got arrested for molesting his own nieces today. My STBXW confessed it to me, said she has no one to talk to now, no friends, so she spilled everything to me. She pushed away her great family, my family, and me, to be with a guy and girl who everyone knew was ducked up, but we couldn't have guessed the guy was that ducked up. So I'm happy that she's finally getting a little karma for what she's done. Karma is so real, sometimes it shows itself publicly, sometimes it is hidden, but it is real. It was so emotionally difficult talking to her so deeply again. When I get close to her face, my gut instinct is to go in for a kiss because that's what I did for 9 years. She's still beautiful, but she is a ducking monster, and she's only talking to me because she literally has no one else. She destroyed everything good she had in her life, moved in with and ducked with a child molester, and now she's facing her consequences. Update: AP arrested for child molestation. Hey all. I just wanted to answer some questions posted on my last post and give a small update. So my STBXW is now in the psych ward for suicidal thoughts. She is suicidal because she really loved the AP and she's lost him. The AP's wife, who is also an AP, is also in the psych ward for suicidal thoughts. I've been told by a close source that they are both not in a good place mentally at all. Who would have guessed? I was told today by someone I think I can trust that my STBXW has been cheating for at least 4 years with both the APs. It matches up with the timeline, but it is much longer than I thought it had been going on. The person told me they wanted to tell me before, but that my wife and the 2 APs told them that he knows and he's cool with it. It was a big shock to me, and having more concrete evidence really brought my emotions forward. However, I feel like it's giving me good closure. Okay, now that's the update. Now I'd like to answer some questions people asked under my last post. Since there are so many, I'll just address them here. 1. I am absolutely using this event to its full extent in my custody battle. I am filing to suspend her visitation ASAP based on the fact she took our child around a child molester against court order and that she is mentally unstable. Getting her out of mine and my child's life is my main goal. 2. I understand some people were upset because I said I wanted to kiss her during all this chaos. What I meant by that was that I had a gut feeling, like an instinct, to kiss her because I loved her for so long. However, it was just a gut feeling. I do not and would not actually kiss her or anything else. After I discovered the affair, my love for her faded and I now no longer love her at all besides the fake her I constructed in my head. 3. I think you all are correct about this. I suspect she will likely ask to come back to me. I am prepared for this and will not take her back. She has put me through something beyond hell, and I won't allow her back into my life or my kids. 4. I understand people want me to go North Carolina with her. However, I have been doing minimal contact because we have a kid together, and therefore I need to know if she's going through a mental health crisis, both for the safety of my child and also for court evidence. Once the court proceedings are done, I am going full no contact with her if I am given full custody, and I'll never look back. 5. My child was around the molester AP alone one day, so yes, I am worried that he assaulted my son. However, I'd say the chances of that are slim, and unfortunately I have no way to know as he was too young to talk at the time. It is possible he's been alone with my child more than that, because my STBXW is a really good liar and she spent a lot of time with the APs while we were married with my son. 6. My son is safe in my custody at this time, The AP's toddler is apparently with a safe person too, as both of her parents are either in psych or jail. 7. I am getting therapy, it is much needed as anyone would in this situation. I really appreciate all the helpful comments you all have left. It's given me a great feeling of solidarity during this horrific time I'm going through. I am overall happy with this situation as I feel it will net me full custody away from the terrible circus my SDBXW has constructed. Keep the poor children in this situation in your thoughts. There are at least 5 poor kids affected by these monsters in one way or another. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, what a shit show. I wish nothing but the best for you and your son. May your SDBXW never darken your door again. Redditor 2, you are a sea of calm in a storm of acid. Hat tip to you, good sir. Looks like your priorities are spot on and you have your plan in place. Wish you the best. Redditor 3, thanks for the update, I just read your earlier post. Good luck with everything moving forward. Redditor 4, sounds like sole custody is a slam dunk. Multiple trips to the feeble factory, early abandonment and exposure to a pedo. Your son is lucky to have you as a stable caring father. Best wishes to you both. Redditor follow-up, probably not, she had no way of knowing he was a pedo until he was arrested, and the son hasn't been around him since then. I don't think they take custody from you due to having your kid around a person who ends up turning out to be a pedo if you had no knowledge of that, only if the kid was being abused and you knew, or if the person had already been exposed as a pedo and you kept bringing your kid around them. Her being in the psych ward might weigh more heavily, but they almost never completely take away custody entirely from a parent who wants it unless they're actually proven to be abusing or neglecting the kid, and often not even then. She'll almost certainly at least have visitation unless she chooses not to fight for it. Redditor 5, I'm glad there was an update to this, but yeah, agreeing with the other comments, congratulations for keeping your cool. I could never imagine being in a situation like that, but you've done an amazing job at keeping your cool, good on you.